Beach Ethics Commission on February 24th, 2021 at 1 p.m. The meeting is now in order. First item on the agenda is pledge allegiance
to the flag
Flag
of the United
United
States
of the
States
United States of America,
and to the republic
republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
for all.
Well,
In fact, such a nice day. I get the flag out today. On these snowy, rainy days, they bring it in, but this will be good. Okay. First substantive item is approval of the minutes of the February 10th meeting. Everybody has a copy. Does anyone have any corrections or objections or improvements?
No,
Hearing none. The minutes are approved as submitted. With our thanks. Okay, proposed changes in the ethics ordinance. Maybe finally we'll get this done. I guess first question is, I sent it out color coded and put in yellow everything which my records seem to indicate had been approved last time. Does anyone disagree with any of that? Is there anything there that looks like it wasn't approved?
No.
Ingrid?
no, but there was one little funny typo kind of thing going on in section 2539B, second sentence. I think it was a small T for town and now it's a big T. I'm just not sure what that symbol
Okay,
is.
let's say, what is it? What?
2539.
yeah,
B.
Ingrid, what symbol, the T with a dash through it, a line
Yeah,
through
I
it?
guess that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was
So it's essentially the purpose there is to capitalize the word town.
Okay.
In the
that is a
original
funny
text,
sign though, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay. Then let's go to the gray areas where the changes are changing financial disclosure to public disclosure. Actually, how many are there? It's only one?
No, down in
Oh,
2530.
okay, I can see, okay. All right, let's take 2512, A and B. Any objections to making the changes as shown on the draft?
No.
Hearing none, well, I must do this more formally. All those in favor of recommending to the town these changes shown in 2512 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next page, 2532. A1 and A2. Showing changes from financial disclosure to public disclosure. All those in favor of recommending to the town to make these changes indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Quick question, Phil.
Yes.
Did we also change public disclosure earlier in number 2, 2532A2 first line?
I think, yes, I think that's one that I made originally,
Okay.
but missed the others.
Actually, what happened there is that's the one I sent on my correction.
Oh, you did that.
And then Phil, when you added my collections, you just kept it in yellow rather than making it look gray.
Oh, okay. In any event, so regardless of what my recollection is, we're all good with show that when we send it to the town, that all three financials are changed to public, right?
Yes, and then there's another one filled down in 2532B, 1, where we changed it. I'm not sure if that one should have been grayed out also.
I'm not sure either. so I'm gonna,
Not that it's a big deal, just,
no, but it's sloppy. Well, all right, so let's take care of the A1 and 2. Sure. There's 3 publics that we're recommending. Again, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now we go down to 2532B1. Is that? No, just plain B. We're not doing numbers on the first line, just to make sure. Do we all agree, or do we vote in favor of recommending that financial be changed to public on that first line? Those in
Aye.
favor
Aye.
indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Okay, all right, that's that. Then there are the blues, which are, the first one's on page 12. Points that we discussed, and I agreed that I would draft something which I hope would reflect the consensus. Add a new sentence. If the declaration of candidacy is filed before July 31st, the candidate shall by August 15th file a replacement disclosure statement covering the period through July 31st. Anyone have any objections or improvements?
That sounds good, Phil.
Now, one thing we could have done, now it would just, well, an alternative would be that the candidate simply files by August 15th. No, I take that back. No, because the election rules say you have to file a disclosure with your declaration of candidacy. So I guess this takes care of what we were worried about last time. Okay, all in favor of recommending that the sentence I just read be added, indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. On page 3, change is in this potential criminal offense area. Currently, the sentence says, and state its own investigation. We cross that part out and replace it with, if the referral occurs before the commission has reached a decision under 2539, the commission shall immediately stay its proceeding until informed by the prosecuting authority that the stay is no longer necessary. That leaves the possibility of we make the referral to the prosecutor after we make a decision. I think the most likely time this would come into play is if we find somebody filed a false disclosure. Remember, we had an incident last time around. A candidate submitted a disclosure statement which did not indicate that his or her spouse was an officer of a company with a contract. And a previous disclosure by that person said that the spouse was. I mean, that could have been absolutely accurate because, they could have gotten a divorce, or the spouse, could have gotten fired or gotten a better job. But had the candidate chosen not to correct that, it seems to me that would be perjury, and it would require a referral to the prosecutor. I guess so I guess there are going to be some violations which are not criminal at all. And others which, like perjury, or if we find bribery, well, for example, yeah, we find somebody received a gift of, $100 or worth $100, and voted in favor of something that would benefit the giver. I think there's a logic to referring it to the prosecutor. Anyhow, does anyone have any problem with the proposed change?
No,
No, I don't have, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
no.
The only thing I was saying, in that entire section, the word commission should probably be capitalized in all 3 or 4
Yeah, I'm
places.
sorry.
That's okay.
I hate it. I mean, I don't think it should be, but I'll be out.
I know you're a minimalist on all that, Phil.
Yes, that's exactly correct, but I am making notes on my copy here. 3 times, yeah. Okay, with those changes, all in favor of recommending those changes, indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. All right, page 4. We're in 2539. Question is, what do we do with the situation where we decide that we determine that we can't decide the merits of a case against a person without resolving a factual dispute? The premise of the previous subsection was that we would have the town pay to hire a hearing examiner to hold a hearing on those facts. The question is, what do we do if the town says, no, we're not going to spend that money? And I'm suggesting that we would make a decision at that point whether to simply close the case without a decision, or if we determine that the nature of the factual dispute is one which one or more of us would be capable of presiding over a hearing, we could do that. But we make that decision on an ad hoc basis when it comes up.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate way to handle it, Phil. I would note that there is one word commission that needs to be capitalized in the second line.
The funny thing is, if I were committing some kind of crime that involved communications with somebody else, I would be found, the cops would find me in a minute, because I wouldn't capitalize anything except for proper nouns. Okay. All right. With those changes, including the capitalization of commission on the second line, all those in favor of recommending the changes to the town indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, what I'm going to do is send out a corrected copy again, without the blues and grays and yellows, actually. And I will draft a cover letter to the mayor, hopefully 1 page, explaining the changes.
Phil,
Yeah.
one thing that was left over from the last meeting a couple weeks ago was
Yeah.
the issue in 2539 D1, whether we want it to have a cap or
Oh.
not.
I think you're right, and I think Randy made that note, and I didn't pick up on it. What Does anyone, Ingrid, do you want it, do you think it should be a cap?
Yeah, I kind of feel, I don't think we should just leave it open-ended like that. I don't know that there's a magic number, but I don't think we just leave it hanging.
All right, well, I'm thinking, the disclosures are due April 1st, right? No. So and then we inform somebody that he or she failed to submit a filled out Form B. There's no yes or no checked, no information. And we give the person a couple of weeks and hey, he or she blows us off. So then we would hold a hearing, I guess, or, ask, we'd set something up so that the person could defend himself or herself. Yeah, I would think likely we would do that within 100 days, right?
I would think so. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I was leaning, maybe that $500 mark.
Mike?
Sounds reasonable.
Okay, so, but now the alternative, well, that's it. I mean, we assess the late fee. All right, and then we say, and the person, ignores us. We ask the circuit court to compel. Let's say that takes 3 or 4 months. Now let's not try to figure this out. Why don't we just say up to a total of $500? Where should the $500 be put in the sentence?
Why don't we just say assessing a late fee of $5 per day up to 500?
Yeah, not to exceed $500
Yeah.
in total.
That's fine.
All right.
$5 per day, comma, not to exceed $500 in total, comma.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, we know what it means. Okay, not to exceed. $500 in total. Okay, so, comma, all right. The suggested amendment would read now, assessing a late fee of $5 per day, comma, not to exceed $500 in total, comma, for failure to timely file.
Sounds fine.
Sounds good.
Those in favor of that change, those in favor of recommending that change to the town indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no, the ayes have it. And boy, thank you, Ingrid, for remembering that.
You're welcome. I had one other loose strand too, I guess, from the last meeting, and I'm not sure exactly if we've addressed it or where it goes. I thought there was some discussion over the fact that the model language indicated that a violation of the ethics ordinance would be a misdemeanor, and that we wanted to try to copy that language in terms of the misdemeanor part somewhere in here as well. Is that right? I'm not, Phil
I
or
remember,
Fred,
I only-
do you remember that?
I remember the conversation. I do not remember.
Because I don't think we've added anything there, have we?
No, we haven't. Fred, what's the status? Do you have the model in front of you, Fred?
No, I can pull it up pretty quickly. Just bear with me for a couple minutes. Go ahead and talk about the weather.
It's pretty out there, isn't it?
It's great.
Um, It's in Comar.
You know what, I'm gonna run, get a hard copy.
Okay. What am I looking for, guys?
Phil stepped away for a moment. He's not at his desk right now.
Yeah,
Fred.
I see that. So I have it up in front of me.
I think it was the issue about being a misdemeanor.
Enforcement.
Okay, I'm looking at Model A,
Yeah,
and this is in, well, it's section 9C of Model A. Any person who knowingly and willfully violates the provisions of section
8, which is lobbying.
that's lobbying. Let me go back up to,
Okay. That's where that comes, that's where that notion comes from. I'll tell you, I would, if the town decides that any violation of the ethics ordinance is a misdemeanor, then all the cases have to go to the prosecuting attorney. Automatically.
yeah, I don't. I'm just scrolling through and I don't see a general misdemeanor provision for conflicts of interest or financial disclosure. So the only misdemeanor provision is with respect to lobbying.
And I'm looking at B, that's the Model B, same deal.
Okay, and just FYI, failure to timely file a financial disclosure statement is subject to a late fee of $5 per day, up to a maximum of $500.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
wow, great.
Yeah, all right.
What vision, Ingrid? You got vision.
Or good recollection. You know, actually, Model B does not use the misdemeanor language.
Now, Model B is a cut down version of Model A
Oh, okay.
intended for use by much smaller jurisdictions.
Okay. And still fine, impose fine any, okay, but we're not doing it. We're not adding misdemeanor language to this ordinance, right?
The only thing I would ask, and I don't know the answer to this because I've never looked at it, is whether the town code generally provides that a violation of any provision of the code is a misdemeanor.
Okay, well, we have nothing to do with that, so we'll,
Right.
if you could research that, it'd be great. Let us know. Okay, let's move on to the forms. The only one that we're thinking needs to be radically changed is A. And Mike has done a draft and offered to meet with the town information technology people. So I think we should just approve that approach, and ask Mike to, send us stuff as it gets developed. Remember I had asked Holly for that type of assistance on all the forms. And it may well be that a competent person or someone, an experienced person could suggest other changes as well. But certainly the notion of want to get Form A so that we don't every year, have handwritten, 3 properties and, some identifying addresses and some not, that sort of thing. I don't know if there's a motion involved. No, I've just let the record show that Mike will follow up on this with the town, and keeping in mind that people have to file by April 1st. What day is today? Is it April 1st or April 30th? It's April 30th. Okay, so we can, if we get this done in March, we're okay.
Yeah, well, what I'll do, Phil, I'd like to meet probably next week sometime. I'm out of town this week, but if I get the approval, I'll go forward and meet next week and see if I can schedule a time.
That would be great. I would like that very, very much. I don't,
What I'll do, I'll work with Sharon. I'll send her an email about
Yeah.
scheduling a time next week.
Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
Okay.
The only other major thing on the agenda is changes in rules of procedure, which I suggest we postpone until, postpone. Certainly, we may want to make changes based on what we're recommending here. We may want to wait until the town actually acts on our recommendations. But I think it'd be useful to try to adopt something today. So that brings us to the next regular meeting of the commission. Why don't we leave that, well, we could leave that open until Mike gets a sense of when, we might see a draft. At the moment, that's the only thing we have on the agenda.
Hopefully I'll be able to meet next week, and then I'll send you by the end of the week kind of an idea
Yeah,
of timeframe.
that would
Okay.
be fine. And we'll just by email, figure out the
Schedule.
schedule.
Phil,
Yes,
just FYI for you all, I had a meeting with one of my other commissions yesterday to review financial disclosure forms that
Oh.
were submitted by their staff and officials. And they're the only people who are required to file the long form are the mayor and council.
yeah,
Everybody else files the short form gift form. But what we found was that uniformly, with subject to one exception, everybody screwed up on Schedule G, I think, your other employment or your sources of earned income.
Say, hold on.
And everybody checked no. When we know that most, if not all of them, either they or their family members have places of
Interesting.
earned income.
Yep.
So we took a look at how that form is set up and what the instructions are for it, and it couldn't be any clearer. We were trying to think, is it ambiguous? Is it something? The only thing we could think of was if that particular schedule follows other schedules that talk about having a relationship with the town.
Ah.
So it's possible people were thinking that, well, no, I don't, I'm not hired by or employed by anybody who does business with the town or something like that. So, so we're not going to make any change. We may, in the introductory letter that goes out saying, by the way, here's this year's form, point
Mhm.
that out.
Uh-huh.
This year, the commission has said, we're not accepting those. We're not certifying them.
Yeah.
We're sending them back to each member of the mayor and council who checked no and explain the requirement and to give them an opportunity to correct it.
Okay, now in our case, it's funny, the table of contents, first of all, it's Form C, which comes before, the dealings with the town. The form is labeled income earned from any entity other than the town. The form itself just says sources of earned income, and I think that should be changed to, say, other than the town.
So anyway, I just want to bring that to
Yeah.
your attention, what somebody else was encountering.
Yeah, that's good. And Mike, would you look at Form C as well then? Because this is one where there could be 2 or 3 people, the filer and a spouse and a child.
Okay.
And look at that in line with your idea on A. No. Yeah. Okay. Any further? Thank you, Fred, by the way. Thank you.
Sure, happy to provide the info.
Comments, other comments? By commissioners or members of the public? Hearing none. All those in favor of adjourning indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Great. Now,
Thank you all. Be
talk
healthy
to
and
you in a
safe.
couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, be
Enjoy.
healthy and
Enjoy the
safe.
warm weather.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Aye.
Bye-bye.
Aye.
Bye-bye.